2023 was a great year for film, and 2024 is shaping up to be just as good, if not better. We're going to start off with some honorable mentions. These are films that have been getting a decent amount of buzz, or at least are coming from very acclaimed directors. So we'll breeze through these, and then our top 5. Hopefully you'll discover a new film to add to your watch list. First honorable mention, Gladiator 2, the long-awaited sequel to Gladiator from Ridley Scott, starring Paul Mescal. Who knows how this is going to turn out? Ridley Scott is old. His films have been a little bit hit or miss, but I'm holding out some hope. Another honorable mention is maxxxine from Ty West. This is the third installment in the X trilogy. We had X, Pearl, and now maxxxine, which will follow the events of X. Definitely the best slasher director out there right now. Next, we have Civil War from Alex Garland. Although his most recent film, Men, wasn't super critically acclaimed, I still enjoyed it, and this one is supposed to be very action-packed, set in the near future in the United States, starring Kirsten Dunst. We also have Mickey 17 from Bong Joon-ho, obviously the director of Parasite, Best Picture winning film. This one is going back to some of his sci-fi roots, starring Robert Pattinson. I think obviously one of the most anticipated films for many people is the sequel to Joker, Folie à Deux, which roughly translates to Insanity of Two. This one will see Joaquin Phoenix reprising his role as Joker, but also bringing in Lady Gaga, and it's a musical. I have a feeling that this one will either be a masterpiece or not so much. Next, we have Megalopolis from the renowned director Francis Ford Coppola. This has been a project that apparently he's been working on for decades, literally decades, and it was largely self-financed. It has a massive ensemble cast, including Adam Driver, Forrest Whitaker, Aubrey Plaza, and many more, so we'll see how it shakes out. Last on our honorable mentions is Dune Part 2. Denis Villeneuve is one of my favorite directors, so I've been waiting pretty anxiously for this one since the first one came out. Supposed to come out last year, but it's finally coming in 2024. Okay, time for the quote-unquote real list, our top 5. Number 5 is O Canada. This film is directed by Paul Schrader, who again is getting up there, but is only a few years removed from his fantastic film First Reformed. His most recent film, Master Gardener, he actually filmed while wearing an oxygen tank the entire time, but this will be one of his final films. It follows Leonard Fife, who was a Vietnam draft dodger. Now the cast, this is interesting. It stars TikTok's favorite actor at the moment, Jacob Elordi, and alongside him we have Richard Gere. So we have two different worlds colliding, which will be interesting in itself. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping that this will be a Schrader film that we can put amongst some of his best. Number 4 is Mother Mary. So this film comes from David Lowery, who is known for Ghost Story and The Green Knight, which was actually one of my favorite films of the year when it came out, but didn't seem to get universal praise. This one sounds very interesting. We know very little about it. We know that it's supposedly an epic pop melodrama, and it explores a relationship between a musician and a fashion designer, these two roles being played by Michaela Cole and Anne Hathaway. Given how weird some of Lowery's films are, I'm very excited to hear that the music is being done by Jack Antonoff and Charlie XCX, which are two of the favorite musicians amongst Gen Z, Jack Antonoff being a co-writer with Taylor Swift. So I anticipate a lot of teens walking into theaters and leaving with no idea what they just witnessed. Can't wait. Number 3 is Love Lies Bleeding. You may have seen some of the images from this film. It looks fascinating. It's from director Rose Glass, who directed Saint Maud, one of my favorite horror films of the year it was released. It stars Katie O'Brien and Kristen Stewart as a bodybuilder and a gym employee who may fall in love with twists and turns along the way. I'm very fortunate to be able to catch this one at Sundance, but I believe it's coming out in a wider release sometime in March. Number 2 is Nosferatu. Obviously, this is a remake of the classic gothic vampire film, this time directed by Robert Eggers. Apparently, this film has been in the works for about a decade now, actually before The Northman and The Lighthouse from Eggers. It has a studded cast: Bill Skarsgård, Lily Rose Depp, Willem Dafoe, and if anyone is going to remake this film, it kind of has to be Eggers. Also, it's scheduled to come out on Christmas Day, so nothing screams the holidays like gothic vampire tales. And the number 1 most anticipated film of 2024 is Kinds of Kindness. This film was originally titled And, but was just changed back in December, and it is going to be the newest film from Yorgos Lanthimos. Given how much I love Lanthimos, and given how brilliant Poor Things was that just came out in late 2023, I cannot wait for this film. Oh, and it stars Emma Stone again and Willem Dafoe again. So we have 2 individuals who are very comfortable working with Yorgos. And again, we don't know too much about the specific plot, but what we do know is that there are 3 separate stories, and each actor plays a different character in each story. So it is clear that it's going to be asking a lot of these actors, and it might be like something we haven't seen before. Anyway, thanks for watching. These are just some of the films coming out in 2024. I'll be heading down to Sundance soon, so be sure to subscribe to follow along for some updates, some reviews, potentially embargo pending on some premieres. Thanks again, everyone. Cheers.